Today we are making cheesecake. I feel partially confident because we're not baking anything, but am I following the recipe exactly? Of course not. So we'll see how this goes. I just used the bottom of the springform pan to trace a circle with parchment paper, and the side that I traced on has pencil, so I put that side face down. Half graham cracker, half flax for extra fiber, and omega-3s. Got some melted butter here, and I'm gonna add some butterfly pea powder to this to naturally turn it blue. Oh, it's so dark and ominous. It's the Beetle bounce. So we're just going to use a measuring cup and press it in to the bottom of the pan. Beauteous. There appears to be a few ways to make a no-bake cheesecake, and whipping cream and folding it into the cream cheese mixture is one of them. Adding gelatin is another. We're going to try mixing the two. It is starting to thicken up, so now is the time. I am going to add more of our butterfly pea powder so we can turn the whipped cream blue. Blue his house with a blue little window. All right, we don't want to over whip because we will make butter. We don't want that. Gonna let that sit for a minute or two, then we're gonna pop it in the microwave. We don't wanna get it too hot, we just wanna dissolve the gelatin. Little reinforcements. So we've got cream cheese and cottage cheese that I've just whipped up in a blender. I like to just pull the mixer out while it's still running to kind of get any little bits of the mixture off. So our sweetener and flavoring for the cheesecake is white chocolate today. Gonna hit it with a nice pinch of salt, really rounds out those sweet flavors. And now it's time once again for the butterfly pea flour, also called blue matcha. All right, so while we mix, we're going to add our gelatin that has been dissolved. And last but not least, we have our blue whipped cream that we are not going to use the mixer for. We are gonna fold this in.
What does that mean? What does fold in the cheese mean?
So folding it in, we're just cutting through the center and bringing it around. Turn, cut through the center, bring it around. The goal here, not to deflate the whipped cream that we just beat all that air into. It looks so blue. All right, this baby has gotta go in the refrigerator to set up, ideally for at least 4 to 6 hours. So we're gonna let this chamomile brew in the hot water with honey, and this is going to be our base for our gummy insects. So we're gonna let it brew, then we're gonna let it cool, and then we're gonna deal with the gelatin, which means more protein. I'm not entirely sure if I'm supposed to stir the gelatin after I've added it in, but here we are. So we're gonna let this sit for a couple of minutes. Then we're gonna pop it back in the microwave so we can dissolve it. Then we're gonna let it cool again before we add our blue powder to color it, because if you add it hot, it will make it extra dark, and we kind of want it to be a more vibrant blue if we can. All right, now let's pour them in the bug molds. For the small ones, we have this little guy. So these are obviously tea and honey flavored, butterfly pea flower. It's a little floral. And if you'd like, you could use white grape juice. You could also use lemon juice if you'd like, but keep in mind, it will turn the butterfly pea powder purple, which is pretty cool. Be a fun little experiment with kids, adding the lemon juice and watching it turn purple before their very eyes. I decided I want to make a blue ganache to drip down the sides of our no-bake cheesecake, so I've heated up some heavy cream. We're going to add some white chocolate and then color it with more butterfly pea powder. Time for more blue. All right, so I decided instead of a drip, since the cake isn't super thick, I am going to add the ganache as a layer on top of the cheesecake and put it back in the fridge to set again. We're gonna have, ideally, hopefully, some nice blue layers. All right, back in the fridge to set once again until this ganache is kind of fudgy, and then we're gonna decorate. Oh. These little slugs. Oh, so cute. How fun. Oh, so good. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. In honor of the new Blue Beetle movie, I have made Blue Beetle's last meal, or what I suspect Blue Beetle might enjoy for his last meal. We made a no-bake white chocolate cheesecake with cottage cheese and cream cheese, and decorated with these super cute blue gummy bugs. Also added some blueberries in the center for good measure, and because they're blue, and the rest of the cake is colored with butterfly pea powder. All natural food coloring, and it's super fun if you add any sort of acid to it. Lemon juice, lime juice, it turns purple. Way fun. So we colored the ganache, we colored the whipped cream that we folded into the cheesecake, we colored the cheesecake itself, we colored the gummy worms, and we made a blue matcha latte. That's the other name for butterfly pea powder, apparently, is blue matcha. And it is delicious. Just some milk, honey, and some butterfly pea powder. Throughout today's video, I am going to be giving you guys a few fun facts about the Blue Beetle movie and Blue Beetles just in general. I've got my fork and love you fork, and I have a cake slicer because I thought it'd be fun to try to get a slice of this thing out, so we'll see how that goes. Oh my gosh, it really does look mousse-like. Is it bad that I just kind of want to eat from this? Should I?
Oh my god, that's so good. The consistency, I love. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, so good. My hand's starting to hurt. It's cramping. This lipstick is gonna be gone by the end of this video. So creamy. I would never know there's cottage cheese in here. All right, one more bite from the serving apparatus, and then I'm switching to my fork and lovey fork. Mmm. So good. Mmm. So creamy. So smooth. You would never know there's flax in the crust. And it's half flax, half graham cracker. And the crust is kind of blue too from the butterfly pea powder. You can also buy the flour, butterfly pea. I'm having a hard time saying it. Butterfly pea flour, and brew it like a tea. Mm. 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 So delicious. The butterfly pea powder is kind of floral. I think it goes really nicely with the white chocolate. I totally would have added lemon today, but given this is a Blue Beetle movie and I told you it turns purple when you add acid, I didn't want to do that, but oh my god, would it be so delicious. Mm-hmm. Highly recommend. All right, let's get into some of these facts, shall we? Fact number 1, the Blue Beetle is modeled after the blue Egyptian scarab, which is the most popular good luck charm from ancient Egypt. It's a symbol of rebirth, transformation, and self-creation, which I guess makes a lot of sense considering the character of the movie. Ancient Egyptians believed that it pushed the sun across the sky each day. So super powerful imagery. You can totally see why they went with a blue scarab. And let's try one of these worms. Little slug. Really lightly flavored. It probably goes stronger. I didn't want the color to change too much on these gummies. I used chamomile tea and honey. It was getting kind of a golden color. So, you know, you can add more tea bags, more honey to really get that strong tea flavor. I was also going to use white grape juice, which is also pretty lightly colored, much sweeter, probably a lot more flavor. Might go with that the next time, but so easy to make yourself. So good. Fact number 2, this is actually the third rendition of the Blue Beetle. The original Blue Beetle was introduced in 1939 as a Fox Comics police officer, Dan Garrett, who fought crime with superpowers gained by ingesting vitamin 2X. I absolutely love that they gave him a superpower from eating vitamins. I think that's awesome. But a revamped version of this character, an archaeologist, was introduced in 1964 by Charlton Comics and drew his mystical abilities from an ancient Egyptian scarab. DC Comics then acquired Charlton's library in the mid-1980s. Here, its original scarab found a new host in teenager Reyes, who is the character in the new Blue Beetle movie, who has been the face of the Blue Beetle legacy ever since. I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting this to be this good. I sort of just winged it. It tasted good, but I had absolutely no idea what the consistency of this cheesecake was gonna be. I had no idea. Even the crust, I am so impressed with how well it's holding together. Wow. Last fact, thought it would be fun to discuss Blue Beetle's suit/superpowers. The original Blue Beetle that ingested the vitamin 2X gave him superhuman strength, stamina, and edge over his enemies. As far as the new Blue Beetle, his powers and capabilities are nearly endless, which I think is really cool. The Scarab provides Jamie with quite a few weapons. Jamie is the first name of the new Blue Beetle, with quite a few weapons and gadgets to work with: blasters, arm blades, flamethrowers, tasers, jetpack-like wings, and many others. But the power of the suit is really more a matter of the limits of Rhea's imagination. Really awesome. And I guess there had been some speculation that Blue Beetle's suit looks like Iron Man's, and it's kind of similar to Iron Man's, but Iron Man just puts on his suit, right? It's all outside of his body. But apparently Blue Beetle's suit is bioorganic and infused within Jamie's skin, which I think is super cool. It bonds with him, communicates with him, and even forms a friendship with him. Feels like a super high-tech security blanket. Truth be told, I have never read a Blue Beetle comic. I have never seen the Blue Beetle in any movie or TV series. I don't know really much about him other than this very limited research that I've done. But now I feel like I'm gonna have to see the movie, right? Though I am more of a Marvel girl. Though I do really like Batman. This is going to be my last bite. I'm feeling really good. And you know that we do not promote eating past the point of feeling really good, right? That is not what we're about here. So delicious. And I feel great about eating this. I didn't add any extra sugar other than what was in the white chocolate. We've got all that extra protein from the cottage cheese. We've got extra fiber and omega-3s from the flax. We've got blueberries on top for more fiber. This is what I live for. Fully indulgent experience, but still does way more for you than a traditional cheesecake. I love it. I probably got this all over myself now, do I? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today. I hope you enjoyed Blue Beetle's last meal. Stay tuned for more last meal videos. These are so much fun. And we'll see you guys next time.